Hello, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing good. Without wasting any more time, let's get on today's video. In the past few weeks, three educators from three different schools around the country were implicated in cases of sexual assault and ill-treating learners. Six former learners between the ages of 17 and 19 from St. Bernard High School in the Free State came out and spoke about their experiences. Cases were also opened against teachers who sexually harassed them. Second incident happened at Tielelani Secondary School in Soshanguve, where three educators have been reported from allegedly ill-treating learners as well as sexual assault. In that note, Brongon Sprayed Primary School parents are demanding answers from the school in terms of safety after there was a reported rape incident following allegations of a rape of a grade 4 learner in the school toilets. I also saw a video on social media of a learner named Homoto who is 19 years old, matriculated in 2024. She came forward to share her experience of what happened, and then she narrated that there's this teacher who is the accused at the moment. He was following her and her friend on Instagram, and then he started sliding into her DMs, and then he started texting her, asked her a question if she has feelings for him, which made Humutu uncomfortable. She said she does not have feelings for him. And then the few moments later, the teacher confessed to her that he loves her, which was uncomfortable again for Humutu. She ended up blocking him. And then she also raised a point of where the teacher started harassing her by calling her non-stop, which was the question of where he got her number from, because Humutu said she never gave him her number. So the teacher started calling her and Humutu was blocking him again and again. And then a few days later, Humutu said she went to school where she was summoned by this teacher. And then she was summoned to his office, and when she got there, the teacher blocked her way out when she wanted to leave, telling her that he loves her and he wants to show her what love is. Humutu narrated that the teacher began to touch her inappropriately, hugging her tight, and escalated the matter further by kissing her. So that's what Humutu shared with us. So I would like to weigh in on this. Firstly, we must acknowledge as a country that we have a problem. We have a big problem. And considering the fact that schools used to be the safest place a child can be at, but with what's happening, it seems like children are no longer safe at school. So to bring the full context, I went to Google what a teacher is. So this is what Google gave me. A teacher is a professional educator who facilitates and guides learners by imparting knowledge, developing critical thinking skills, and nurturing students' personal and social development. They create supportive environments, adapt to diverse learning styles, and serve as mentors and role models to help students achieve academic and personal growth, preparing them for future challenges and lifelong learning. So we really have to go back to the core of it, because it seems like a lot of people who take teaching, they take teaching as just a cause. They take teaching as just a profession, not failing to understand that teaching goes a long way. It has a big responsibility. When you take teaching, you are taking a big responsibility upon your shoulder, which you are not only a teacher in front of these young kids, you are a role model, you are a mentor, you are like a parent to them. So a lot of people just think teaching is just teaching, and that's not true. Now, these rising rates of sexual abuse allegations by teachers abusing learners, it is just further shows that there are people who got into teaching because they had their hidden ulterior motives to take advantage of young, vulnerable children. Now, mind you, these are just reported cases. It's not even the end of the year. We have 1 more month to go, and we have these reported cases in our country. Mind you, there are other unreported cases. There are other cases that are yet to be discovered. So this just shows that we have this big problem in our country of teachers who are not teachers but perpetrators who are looking and seeking to devour young, vulnerable, fragile, innocent children. So in my research, I was just looking on social media platforms, and what I saw is that I honestly think that a bar for teachers' conduct was lowered. Look at their dress code, you know. I started primary in the early 2000s, and I can see a huge difference from, like, in terms of dress code from back in the days and now. Teachers are all over in like social media platforms. You find teachers all over social media platforms wearing clothes like you don't know how are you wearing clothes like you're going to a club but you're going to a class. I couldn't help but notice that the dress code is just something else. Back in the days you would not see your teacher wearing something that shows their chest out. You would not see that. You would not see a teacher wearing a tight dress that is showing the curves. You would not see that. There was a strict dress code for teachers because you are not only just a teacher, you are a role model in front of these kids. So if you're wearing this tight pants, this tight dress showing your curves, what example are you setting for these young kids who are looking up to you? There is this famous well-known teacher, and I'm not going to mention her name, but she has like a very beautiful structure, and that we must credit. Okay, she has a very beautiful structure, but the way she dresses, it's like she's going somewhere else. It's like she's going to a club or somewhere else. She would have these tight pants, that are just showing her obvious, her chest out. It's just a disaster the way I see it. So I honestly believe that a bar for teachers' conduct has been lowered. Teachers are all over social media right now, and some of them, they are recording kids. They will show these young kids' faces all over social media platforms without the permission of their parents. How are they failing to understand that there are human traffickers out there? And when you are showing these young kids' faces, social media is an international thing. There is someone out there in Uganda or Tanzania who's looking at this video. You think that, I'm just showing here in Mzansi. Social media is an international thing. So someone out there who is a human trafficker is also looking at these kids and is looking at your bio, and they see that, okay, so this is where you live, so this is where you work. Because a lot of people, they would put their personal information on social media platforms. That is very dangerous. It's really not that hard to connect dots when a person tells you in their bio who they are, how old they are, where they stay, where they work. It's really not that hard to connect the dots. So the bar for teachers' conduct has been lowered. That's how I see it. So I asked different people the question of, like, what could be the solution to this? We can talk about the problem all day, every day, all day long, but we have to have a solution to how do we eliminate this problem, because this is growing rapidly. So we have to find solutions to this. And in my findings, this is what I came with. The way I see it is that I think the department should look into teachers' background. Background checks should be thoroughly done. Okay, fine, we get it, you have a qualification, but we have to look into your background, meaning that we have to look at everything, including your social media platforms. Some of these teachers, they are following they're following maybe half naked women, not even maybe. Some of these teachers, they will be following these young influencers who like to go half naked all the time. That should tell you something as a principal if you are to hire that person. If you look at their social media platforms, I'm talking about their social media handles, that should tell you what kind of a person this is. You are following half naked women, you are following people who are into shady dark things. That should tell you what kind of a person is that. You can't hire a person just because they have a good qualification. Yes, they have a good qualification, they also have a personality. It's possible to be a doctor, but also you are smoking drugs. You go out there and bring awareness of how damaging that is, but you're also doing it yourself. So there's no balance in there. When the department hires teachers, they should also consider background checks. As I've said, I think the bar for teachers' conduct has been lowered. Now it seems like, oh, you have the qualification, oh, we're gonna hire you. That is not how it's supposed to work, because look at the pandemic that we have in our hands. These old teachers are coming and devouring our kids, following our kids in social media platforms. How are you a teacher and you are following your learners? They post all kind of things. They are kids. How are you following your learners on social media platforms? That should raise a question. How are you as a teacher who respects himself and you are following learners, young kids on social media platform? Because Humutu mentioned that this teacher DM'd her, he was following her and her friend. So he's not only following Humutu, he's casting his net wide. That if Humutu rejects me, I'm going after her friend. This is a wicked mindset. Hence the reason why I'm saying is that there should be a thorough background check. We can't hire, yes, you have a good qualification, outstanding, thank you very much. But this is what your background check shows us. Now there was a person, a guy, in fact, this young man commented that there was you remember the Kwekwe story, right? This guy commented like a negative, that comment irritated me to the core. He commented, a negative comment on the whole Kwekwe situation, like the young child deserved it. That was his comment. And that person, maybe he's studying somewhere, maybe he's a student somewhere, or maybe he's working. What does that say about that person? Imagine that person, if that person is a teacher. Imagine with that mindset, because there's this thing. Let me just quickly search it. Yes, I just found it. It says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So this person is commenting who they are. They are just showing you in that comment who they are, what they stand for, and what they would do. So that man who commented that ill comment about the whole total situation, imagine if that person is a teacher. So that just shows you that a thorough background check is very important when hiring people, because these people that you're hiring, they have a personality. They have agendas. What are their hidden agendas? So the first solution that I think that the department should consider is doing thorough background checks on teachers. We can't be hiring perpetrators that are seeking to devour our kids. School should go back to what it used to be, the safest place a child can be at. Because some people are working, parents are working, they're busy with their duties like in the day. Where are they supposed to put their children? In the police station. So I honestly believe that a thorough background check has to be done. If you have, teaching qualification, we see that. We have to look at your social media handles. You can't be a teacher and you're following young girls, you're following half-naked women. That's just who you are. You are a perpetrator. There's no other way to put it. Now, the second solution that I found is that the danger of social media. Now, when I looked at this, I was like, okay, we're still a developing country, but we're having such problems. So my take on this is that as a learner, you have no business having your teacher's number. As a learner, you have no business having your teacher's personal number. Okay? Because what is there to talk about? If you have issues at school, if you will let your teacher know during school hours, not after school hours. What are you having a conversation for with a teacher outside of school premises and not in school hours? So that applies whether it's a male teacher or female teacher. It does not matter. You have no business as a learner having your teacher's number. You have no business. The person who should have your teacher's number or your class teacher's number is your parent or your guardian, someone who's older than you. You have no business saying, hi, your teacher is in your WhatsApp and he's liking your statuses. How is that possible? I understand that we are evolving and that there are groups where teachers open for learners to give them schoolwork, whatever. If it's that setup, I'm okay with it because it's the whole class. It's not just you alone having a personal conversation, one-on-one conversation with the teacher. If it's a group setting where a teacher addresses you, all of you as learners in his class, that's okay. That's a good setup. But for a teacher to go in a route of having a dialogue conversation with you on your personal WhatsApp, that is a big no for me. So children, young girls, be very alert. We have a problem here. In as much as the community and us will have to play this part of protecting you, you also have to be able to protect yourselves. Be able to speak out. Don't even, the thing about groomers, they know a person who's older than you is older than you for a reason. And there's this thing of like, age is just a number. Age represents history. Let's correct that first. Age represents history. You were not present in 1994. Your teacher was. You don't know the history. You are reading the history through books, through history books. Some of these teachers are they were grown enough to be participating in the 1994 and in the struggles. So you don't know history. They know better than you. They are older than you for a reason. Even if they are older than you by 5 years or 6 years, they are older than you. That counts for something. So don't even wait for a teacher to start complimenting you or telling you things that you feel comfortable hearing. Don't even wait. These people are old. They are groomers. They know what they're doing. They know how you think. They know if I tell you this, you're not going to be alarmed. They know the twists and turns of life. So don't even engage in a conversation that is not about schoolwork, not in school premises, not in school hours. Don't even engage with the teacher. When your teacher is calling you and it's calling you on your personal phone, you have to hand that matter to your parent. You have to hand that matter. Take it seriously. Don't take it lightly. Because Humutu mentioned that this teacher was following her. For me, that was the first red flag. That was the first red flag. How are you following? How is it okay for you to see that your teacher is following you and you're like, okay, he's following me. It's okay. That is a red flag, a big red flag for that matter. So I must say this again. Learners, you have a part to play. Young girls, young boys, you have a part to play. This is a situation that all of us has to weigh in on. In as much as we have to protect you, you are there experiencing it at first hand. You are the one who goes to school. You know what's happening there. So be able to speak up. Speak up and speak out. When you see that your teacher is saying inappropriate things that are not connected to schoolwork, now they're asking you, so how was your day? Do you have a boyfriend? So you don't have someone you love? That is inappropriate. Report that. Report that. Don't wait for it to even get out of hand. Report that. How does the teacher get involved in your personal life as a learner? So young children learn to be able to speak up. This is a problem for all of us. And these are, mind you, reported cases. There are some cases that are not yet reported. So I repeat this again. The department, please do a thorough background check on these teachers. Some of them, they're not there to teach. They are there to seek and devour young kids. Secondly, learners, I am addressing this to you. You have no business speaking or having your teacher's number. You have no business speaking to your teacher after hours, after school hours, about things that are not related to school. Your parents should have your teacher's numbers, not you. A teacher following you, report that. Report that. And learners, please be comfortable in speaking up and speaking out. Okay? So this is what I have for now. I will see you guys on my next upload. I'm thinking of doing part 2 of this. Yeah, I'm actually going to upload part 2 of this.